right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next example, guys. And the next example is the same idea, but now, once again, we're still working with the thousands, but we also have numbers in this case, guys, in the front, right? So let's go ahead and start off in this case, guys. Start off here. I want to go ahead and start off with the repeating decimal in this case, guys, of 6, 8. And I'm going to go ahead and focus on the last number. Now, in this case, guys, in the order, right, place value in this case, the 8 is actually in the thousands place value. Right? Now, notice in this case, guys, the next question I'm going to ask here is which number in this case doesn't repeat. We actually have two of them in this case, guys, but the one that I want to go ahead and focus on is the one that's closest to my repeating decimal, which is 0. Now, the 0 in this case, guys, is actually in the tens place value. That's in the tens, right? I could probably also take a look at it in this case, guys, that both of these are not repeating. But once again, I'm going to be focused on the one that is towards the end, right? The last one that's not repeating, which is a 0. So in this case, guys, let's go ahead and start with our work here. I have my decimal of 5.068, where the 68 is repeating. We're going to go ahead and multiply that by 1,000, right? If we multiply that out in this case, guys, that's going to give me 5,608.68, all right? Where the 68 in this case is repeating. Same idea in this case, guys. I have 5,000.068. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by 10. Once again, guys, if you're not sure where we're getting these from, the 0 is in the tens place value, so that's why I multiplied by 10 here, right? And in this case, the 68, or more specifically, the 8 is in the thousands, so that's why I multiplied by 1,000 here. So moving on in this case, guys, that would actually give us 50.68, right? Also, guys, whenever we're working these out, we always want to make sure that we end up with the same never-ending decimal, right? Or the repeating decimal of 6, 8. If I would have multiplied this by 1 and let's say gone with the place value of 5, that would have given me a 5.068, which would not end up in this here. So just make sure in this case, guys, that whenever we're working with that, we need to make sure that we have the same repeating decimal. Now, let's go ahead and create the second part of the equations here. We're going to go ahead and create a balance in this case, guys. I'm going to go ahead and make the first one equal to 1,000x. Once again, if I were to divide both sides by 1,000, it would still give me the same decimal. Same thing if I were to divide this one by a 10, it would give me the same decimal as above. Now, from here in this case, guys, let's go ahead and start off here. I want to go ahead and subtract both of them. So that's my first step in this case, guys, subtract. That's my first step. So let's go ahead and subtract them in this case, guys. This cancels, and we're left in this case with 5,018, right? If I subtract those. And that's going to be equal to, in this case, guys, 990x. Next step in this case, guys, is to solve for x, guys. Solve for x here. And we're going to go ahead and actually divide both sides by 990. 990. So let's go ahead and check this out, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take out my calculator here. And I'm going to go ahead and do 5,018 divided by 990. And if you take a look at that, guys, that's actually our decimal. 5.0686868, right? Just repeating. So simplified form is actually going to be 2,000. Where's my blue? 2,509 over 495. And that there in this case, guys, would actually be our simplified answer.